Okay, class, so does anyone have any questions?
Nope, I understood everything you said.
I don't get it. I was paying attention, but I don't know what you're saying.
Mara?
We have all been in school, and every day brings a new challenge. Some days we feel confused, bored, and other days we completely understand what we are learning. Some of us best understand the traditional approach to education, which is to just watch and listen to the lesson. However, others prefer to actually be up and participating in order to learn. Whatever your preferred learning style is, they are known as the multiple intelligences, which is a theory that is created by Howard Gardner. If you are familiar to the concept, click here. Or if you are new to the intelligences, click here.
New to multiple intelligences? That's alright. They're really simple to wrap your head around. The theory of multiple intelligences states that students all possess different minds, and therefore learn, remember, perform, and understand in different ways. These different minds are split up into 8 categories, the first being musical, or dealing with rhythms and sounds. The second is logical-mathematical, which deals with numbers and critical thinking. The third is visual-spatial, which deals with being able to visualize. The fourth is verbal-linguistic, or having to be able to read and write well. The fifth is bodily kinesthetic, which has everything to do with hands-on experiences. The sixth is interpersonal, measured by how an individual can relate to others and also work in groups well. The seventh is intrapersonal, which deals with self-recognition, such as setting goals or independent reading. And the eighth and probably least popular intelligence is naturalistic, which deals with the ability to recognize plants and animals and also connect with nature.
We are glad you are familiar with the multiple intelligences. Think about a time when you have struggled to understand a concept or were overall bored in class. Did most students struggle? Did some students succeed? The way that students learn changes from person to person. This graph displays the diversity of students' minds. Most teachers have knowledge with the multiple intelligences, however, many struggle to effectively implement them into a classroom environment. The lack of implementation of multiple intelligences causes the majority of students to lack a true understanding of the content their teacher is teaching. Currently, classes are taught primarily using the verbal linguistic and mathematical logical intelligences, which sets up a select group of individuals for success, leaving the rest to fend for themselves.
Click to see our solutions or to see more benefits about the multiple intelligences. Everyone's got unique minds that learn differently. Not all students can be taught traditionally. We don't want our students to do poorly, so it's important to appreciate everyone's abilities equally. While many students can still understand all of the taught material, they would benefit from the information more if it wasn't so boring and traditional. We conducted a survey in the Wissahickon High School and found there were a variety of intelligences that should be used as a learning tool. 25% of students identified with logical mathematical, while 18.8% of students were verbal linguistic or interpersonal. There's not one intelligence that should be taught overall, so we should drop traditional ways and fit the needs of all. Click here to check out more information about the multiple intelligences.
Given the importance of multiple intelligences, it is essential that they are reinforced in classroom environments. We have come up with the following solutions. We suggest that you check out our main solution, the rubric, first. Click here to see it. But if you want, you can just either look at the student's assessment solution or how one could implement the multiple intelligences into a classroom.
Not only are students assessed, but teachers are as well. They have a rubric that they're supposed to follow to make sure that they're teaching as effectively as possible. However, many teaching rubrics are currently based off of Danielson's framework for teaching. Here, in the rubric, there is no mention of the multiple intelligences. There should be an addition to the rubric based off of the multiple intelligences, which assesses the teacher's ability to incorporate most, if not all, of the intelligences within every class. While this may seem like a lofty task, there will be methods supplied to the teacher to incorporate most of the intelligences. Click here to see a shortened version of the implementation, or click here to see a lengthened version.
When students enter class, playing music that relates to the lesson can get musically gifted students involved. Having a do now that asks students to write down their responses allows students who are interpersonally and linguistically inclined to get involved as well. Then have the class share their responses out loud and engage any interpersonal intelligent students. For the actual lesson, include hands-on activities such as puzzles or patterns to keep the classroom interested, but especially bodily kinesthetic, logical mathematical, visual spatial, and naturalistically inclined students. Click here to look at the rubric, here to look at the implementations individually, or here to check out the student assessments.
Linguistic verbal students learn from writing and speaking about a topic. Logical mathematical students learn well through riddles and logic puzzles. These puzzles can be arranged in many ways to fit any subject. Some students learn best through visual representations of data. Some students work best in groups which offer various points of view on a particular subject. Ideas can be shared between students, which allows them to all further their knowledge. Intrapersonal students learn through working the problems out by themselves. Bodily kinesthetic students learn through doing hands-on activities so that they are actually doing what they are learning.
So we got hydrogen, helium,
Musical students best learn through rhythms and can put information that they need to learn to music so that they can memorize it easier. Naturalist students learn through patterns and can identify many types of plants because of their pattern recognition.
Click here to look at the rubric, or here to check out the student assessments.
Students specifically are the ones who experience the immediate effects of teachers and their teaching styles. With this experience, they have a lot of knowledge about what is effective and what is not. Students should be allowed to have an input in the assessments of their teachers. Students can take surveys, they can have rubrics, or fill out open-ended papers that they can hand to the administrators, so that the school can properly address any problems that the students have with the teachers that the administrators themselves cannot see. If you didn't already, be sure to look at our other solutions linked here, or you can view the end of the video here.
Now, what would happen if the multiple intelligences were incorporated into a classroom environment?
Okay class, so does anyone have any questions?
I get it. I understand. I get it, and I was paying attention the whole